they thought that archaeologist was lying. So they went back and said, "Oh, he's lying. Let me go test this out and see if I can find it." And they came to the conclusion that with all the samples, all of the excavations, all the stuff that they found, that none of these sites that are in the Bible go back. They don't date back to the time that they say they do. And majority of the people who went and did the excavations were Bible believers. If you guys think I'm lying, look it up. This is what I'm talking about. People like him, they get up here and they give us something that's strange. You went to some medical doctors who came to the conclusion after they studied the evidence of Jesus crucifixion. They're just studying the evidence to see if that's the way that because he didn't read the full article. He didn't read the full article. They came out, they looked at the evidence and said, by this, the way that he was crucified, that's how he died. And the spear, listen, the spear in the side of Jesus, and then when he pulled it out, they call that the spear of destiny. It wasn't in the original text. They inserted that later, after Josephus wrote his book. Because it's in Josephus' book. That's where the spear comes from. It's called the Spear of Destiny. It comes after the fact.
Right.
Look that up. He's giving y'all points and he doesn't understand what he's talking about because he didn't research it. He didn't research the people who came out with this article in the journal. They're not saying the people. Listen, the people in the medical journal are not saying that Jesus was an actual person that existed. All they said was they studied the evidence and came to the conclusion that this is how this person died. That's it. He didn't read the full article. Go back and read the full article that's in the medical journal. I'm telling you.
Let me
he
show
just
you.
wants to sound intelligent.
Let me show you how they fucked up, right? And somebody saved their ass. And if I was there, I would have let them hang themselves. These motherfuckers went over there looking around, right? And they found these boxes that they used to use to bury their people, especially important people, right? And they saw some writing on it. It was like Jesus, the brother of James or some shit, right? And it was bones in there. It was a male that was the age that Jesus would have been. And they figured that the woman that was in there was either Mary Magdalene or Mary, his mother, right? But this is what they didn't get. While they were bragging about it, like, oh, we think we found the bones of Jesus. If you found the bones, then the story's not real. So they so dumb. They be looking for evidence. You're not even supposed to see any proof of it. The dude left. So when you try to go find proof, you're proving yourself wrong. So they stopped them. They was like, wait a minute, if we find bones, then that means the ascension isn't real. We're better off saying that we can't find the bones. But they so damn slow, they don't get it. You're not even supposed to prove that this shit is real. You're supposed to believe it and carry your ass to heaven. Let us deal with the history. Jesus ain't in the history. He's in the fucking sky somewhere where he's supposed to be at. We looking for the people on the ground. We know he ain't going to be there. He's not supposed to. You're supposed to believe in him. He didn't tell you to believe in him for nothing, right? Because obviously somebody knew that it wasn't going to be able to be proven. So you must believe it. Now, the people who were on the earth after that, the one who rose from the dead, from Jesus rose this guy, Lazarus, from the dead, we should see him die, a place where he died, in another place. He should have died twice. Or he should still be living today if he got immortal life, whatever. That's what we want to see. We want to see the family members of these people. There's over 4,000 different characters in the book. None of their families exist today. Not one. A fingernail. A condom.
Exactly.
Something. God damn.
Exactly.
Solomon had over 1,000 wives. Right? Where's his lineage?
It would definitely have to be a family story if like there were witnesses and shit, like how people say there are witnesses to people him on water. Those footprints would still exist. There would be a family story about a man walking on water and the footprints are still there. That would definitely have to be a family story somewhere.
Like he just look, you guys go study William Dever. He's one of the leading archaeologists that studied this stuff. And he'll tell you, we ain't found none of this stuff. We excavated the sites, we ain't find it. We ain't find it. Go look up Thomas L. Thompson. He'll tell you the same thing. Was it William F. Albright or William L. Albright? He'll tell you the same thing. They'll tell you the same exact thing. We ain't find none of this stuff during the time that they said it. People just read the book. They fall in love with the stories. Oh, Hezekiah was surrounded and the walls was it Jericho? During the time, there was no city of Jericho. There was no walls in Jericho. They just made the story up. During the time of the Exodus, where these people were supposed to be leading out, and then after Moses, you get Joshua, and Joshua was taking his people to the promised land. Guess who was ruling the promised land at the time? The Egyptians.
The Egyptians.
Correct.
The Egyptians
right
and the
to the
Nubians
enemy.
was in there. They was in there playing spades and dominoes. So if they saw Joshua or Moses running up, they would have put the spades and the dominoes down, and they would have picked up the sticks, and it would have been up.
This man to shreds.
And not just that. That's where they train at. That's where they're military trained. You gonna run? It's like run into an army base in America. You do some stupid shit to somebody at the White House, and then run right to Fort Hood. You go straight to a military base and hide. The fuck? They just got the call that
we broke all this stuff down in an earlier live months ago. Matter of fact, I kept trying to end the live. We started the live at like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. No, matter of fact, it was 10:30. And I tried to get off at like 10 o'clock in the morning. But people kept coming in and going at it. So we kept having to drop bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. Now, this is how I see it. I don't care if people don't listen to the live, right? I don't care if you don't change your mind and you still want to believe. My job is to get you to think that the stories in there are fabricated and some of them are not real. You can keep your faith. I'm not telling you not to keep your faith. All I'm simply saying is that look into what they're telling you. Don't read the book and just everything in the book. Oh, I believe it because it's true. Just say you believe on faith. Because if you say you believe because it's true and then you come into my live, just like you go into court, you got to bring facts to back up your statement. If the judge say, hey, we got witness account saying that you did this at 11 p.m., and then you come in there, oh, judge, I didn't do that. And the judge says, well, why didn't you do that? And you say, because I believe I didn't do it. The judge ain't going to look. He's going to look at you and start laughing. You got to have evidence to prove your case. If you don't have evidence to prove your case, don't come up here with belief because I don't do that. You can do that in other people's lives. I get up here, I joke, and I let people say what they want to say. But when you come hard, I'm gonna come hard. Like I like the confrontation. I love the confrontation. And he came up here, he talked his trash, and then he wouldn't let nobody else speak because he already knew what was about to happen. This isn't the first time I ran into this man. He talks his stuff, then he runs. And then after he runs, then we got to take his whole argument to shreds. We got to throw it in the trash, and then we got to throw the gasoline on the trash can. Then we got to throw the match in there and watch it burn up. Again, look, and this is how it is. Tell him he can set up a debate. We can go one-on-one. We can go one-on-one, and he can point out where he can start with Genesis, eat that up. He can start with Moses, and that's my specialty. So I already know he's not going to pick no Exodus. He's not going to pick Moses in Egypt. If he picks Joshua, I'm going to eat that up. If he goes with, oh, there's no child sacrifice in the Bible, that God smelt the sacrifices and it pleased him, I'm going to eat that up. Give me the biblical people who were real. You don't get biblical people when it comes to the Jews, when it comes to their kings, till after Joshua.
You didn't fucking take the
money.
You're like, oh, well, Hezekiah. Well, you go look at Hezekiah's seal. It's a winged disc beetle. They got Egyptian writing all over it. But you claiming Hezekiah? Come on now, this is what I'm talking about. They just say what they want to say.
And they shift the dialogue. They shift the whole dynamic to something else.
It's funny. It's
They know
funny
we're
that you
referring
mentioned.
to.
It's funny that you
They know.
mentioned that
They
God
know.
said He
They know we
smelled.
were. They know we were referring to the miraculous things that's happening in the book, and then they tell us, "Oh, Cyrus is in the book, or Xerxes is in the book." They have Persian records of Xerxes. What is Xerxes doing that's magical? They try to prove something that has nothing to do with showing the validity of the magical shit that's happening in the book. We don't have a problem. If it was a Hezekiah, that's not even a problem anyway.
Okay.
The dude didn't do anything miraculous. We have no problem with regular people in history because that would match the
I want
history
to
we
tell you
study.
that this was a time. This was. If you really read the Bible and you really want to get down to the bottom of it, what they tell you about the first child smelling pleasing, they literally telling you about the smell of sperm.
It's red beans and rice.
Bro, it said God smelled the sacrifices and it pleased him. If they wanted
Yes,
to say
because
sperm, they would
the
have said
sacrifice.
sperm.
No. Listen, when you break word
See, look,
down.
here we go with the no. It's like I say something and then they interject because they don't want to take nothing I say into account.
I'm not interjecting.
I got
I'm
it.
telling you that you're right, but I'm telling you the text of what you're supposed to grab it in. The chemical breakdown of the body, why man is literally made up of 666.
Okay, so when we go to Blue Letter Study Bible and I put sacrifice in, is it going to say sperm?
If you put word into the Bible, WD, because we know the O and the R don't exist. So the WD exists. When you look that up, it actually comes back as seed.
Yeah.
They were burning seeds.
Yeah, the seed of the sperm. Your sperm is considered a seed. They was burning their sperm.
So they was
And the
masturbating
smell
and
from
burning.
it, the smell from it interacts back to your pineal. That's where the gods smelled it at, and they thought it was pleasing to the heavens, to the gods of the heavens of your
No, it's
brain.
not. It didn't say they. It said God smelt it and it pleased him.
Yes, because God only counts as that
So
one
God
eye
is
that's
smelling
inside your
sperm and it's
brain.
pleasing him.
God,
You know,
listen
that's
how
what-
you get to
you
the
know-
brain. Listen to the orifices that get to the brain. The nose,
that's
what
how-
you smell.
you know, that's
God
where
is
they get the-
smelling the penile in your brain and it's pleasing him.
Okay, listen.
that's where
God
they
is
get
not
this,
smelling the penile. Where did Jacob say he met God at? Where did he call that
And
place?
we're not talking about that.
Okay,
We
so you can't.
talking about God
If we
smelling
don't find the kingdom of
sacrifices.
heaven, if we don't find where God is at, and we know God is inside of us, then we know this smell had to go back inside of
we
us
don't know
for
that.
it to reach God.
You know that.
Okay.
If God's
you're right.
inside of me, and God needs to
So-
pull himself out of me and say, Susan, I'm inside you.
So
Because that's
this
what
is this
everybody
word-
that believes in this book, they come up here and say, oh, Jesus is inside you. Oh, God is inside you. Oh, you got to get God inside you. Oh, you got to put Jesus inside of you to understand the spirit. I don't have time for that. They need to pull up on me or come out of me and say, I'm inside you, then go back in.
Talk your talk, then, bro. Talk your talk.
You said a box, so I went and got
You said you wanted understanding. I was trying to give you a better understanding.
Energy. Let me read it though.
When did I say
Go ahead,
that?
read it. Go ahead, read it. You said if anybody can come in here with the understanding, let them come in here. That's when I clicked on and was like, okay, let me give you a different perspective.
Understanding.
Yeah, you was like, if any of y'all Bible thumpers, if any of y'all want to, jump in here, bring them on.
Okay, so let's
God, this was your exact words. You was like, you're telling me that God didn't eat his children, but this, that, and the third.
I didn't say
and
nothing about eating children.
You're right.
I
That's my
said
fault.
sacrifice.
Yeah, you're right. That's my fault. I'm going a little bit too deep because then you're going into Saturnalia because Saturn ate his children. You're right. You're right. I'm going to just back out because I'm trying to give you a different outlook so that way, because there's so many.
You're trying to prove to me that the Bible is real through
I'm not trying to.
metaphorical.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna just say it. I don't care if you believe whether it's real or not. My point is not to try to prove to you that something is real. I just like the debate and like challenging people wits to go look at it and read it
Not
different.
like the debate at all.
I don't like to argue. It's the difference between arguing and debating.
Now, arguing is a debate, bro.
No, it's not, because when I put facts and merits on the table, if you're not willing, if you just knock
You
facts
don't
and
have
merits off the
facts.
table,
You don't have
This-
facts and merits. You just wing
I
it. You
gave you
freestyle a lot of the
books. I
stuff
gave
that
you
say.
references. I gave you references that
You
break
gave me
down what.
the other day. You gave me Zechariah Stitchens, and a lot of scholars say he's pseudo, and you got mad when I said that.
I didn't give you just Zechariah Stitchens. I also gave you the God made flesh. We had a whole conversation about the book that I get. Never mind. You right, bro. I love you, bro. I love you. I ain't even about to. You ain't about to pull me into the negative energy. You know what books I gave you because we talked about the book. We had a big discussion about the book that I gave.
This ain't negative. This is what the scripture says. Genesis 8.
I know, but I'm at work, so I can't go back with the yelling and the screaming. I'm at work.
I just want to read the scripture. I'm not even trying to do all that. And built Noah an altar to Yahweh, and took every animal clean and every bird clean, and offered he burnt offerings on the altar. And Yahweh smelled the aroma, the soothing, and said, Yahweh in his heart, never again will I curse anymore the ground on the account of man, although the
Do you know that the parts of the animals that they burnt was considered the flesh, the bones, some of the carcasses. They burnt some of the stuff that wasn't eaten. They burnt the rest as a sacrifice. They burnt different parts. That's why they say the fat of the animal belongs to God. Don't drink from the blood of the animal, give that to God. Like these certain things are in this book that we're talking about, where it literally tells you that they burnt the fat of the animal.
Go potty. You don't have to keep telling me. Go. Put the glasses down.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how these animals are sperm.
Go to that one right there.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. He's smelling the burning of the animals. Where's the sperm at? And
The smelling of the burning of the animals is a different smell from when he smelled the seed, or when he smelled the first child, or however you want to look at it. Those are different smells. You burn an incense, you burn one type of incense in your house, and then you burn another type of incense. You're not going to say, oh, that's the same smell. You're going to have a different aroma. You're going to be like, oh, okay, so that's lavender and that's this. So if you're burning animals, you're going to have a different smell with the animals than you do with.
Okay, what verse are you talking about where you go to the Hebrew word and it's seed? That's what I'm talking about. I thought you were talking about Genesis 8:20.
The old text talks about Genesis 8:20, or the old text tell you about the animals that were sacrificed. But then when they bring you up to speed to the New Testament, the last sacrifice of the son, and they bring you into stories about all the first sons of Israel going out and being sacrificed, or they bring you to the story where he put his son on the chopping block but then changed his mind, or if you go back further than that and you realize that Saturn was the god who ate his children, there's a reference to the sperm in there that we are missing out on. The seed of life. What is the seed of life?
He asked you for the word in Hebrew that means sperm or semen.
The word that means sperm or semen in Hebrew is WD. Look it up. It's WD. If you look it up in the Hebrew text, it's going to come back seed. If you look at you know that the son was considered the seed of the world. He was the seed of the world, correct?
I want to know when he was smelling the semen. That's the verse I want to get to.
You saying when he was smelling it?
Yeah, what verse is that?
All right, if you read the text, they tell you about this. Oh man, wait till I get home and get the books, because I'm at work. Like, I can't pull it up out of my mind. I have to go back and look at the books that I have at my house and then tell you the verse so you can go look at it yourself.
So it's not in the Bible, right? It's in a different
book. Yes, I just now said I'm going to go home, find the notation that I have so I can give you the verse and you can go study it yourself. I just said that.
Right, but I'm going to just add,
I got it.
If you can give me the part of the story, if you can give me a character, what is happening in the scene, I can get to it.
Okay.
There's
multiple references in the Bible that tells you about the first seed and sacrificing the first seed or the first child.
and he's smelling it. Who
1.
sacrificed the child? That'll get me directly to it. Who sacrificed their
You
first
said
child and God was smelling it?
Abraham, man, listen, man, y'all, we go through this all the time with this word with friends. You said, give you a story from the Bible and you can find that story. Everyone knows the story where they said sacrifice the first child.
But he didn't do it. Abraham didn't sacrifice his son.
Abraham didn't sacrifice his son because they changed it to a ram. When he want to go smite it, they changed it to a ram. So instead of sacrificing his son, he then sacrificed the ram.
So when is he smelling the?
But he was willing to sacrifice his son.
What are we talking about? Where is he smelling the seed at? Just get me to the.
That's why I'm telling you, you have to get the body chemical breakup of this so you can understand that this is all taking place inside the body. Jesus' journey was a journey inside the body, back to the pineal gland, back to Galilee, back to the crucifixion. If you look up the Greek word for crucifixion, you will find out that it means absorb.
Yes, it does. I'm still all right. Well, I guess I gotta wait.
I'm not telling you nothing that ain't already written. Like, we just got to do the work ourselves. Like, this shit is literally written. It tells you that the word God means power, and the word means seed. So it's called a power seed. This shit is in the books that I'm giving you. Like, this shit is in the knowledge that I'm giving.
Huh? I didn't get any books at all. That's why I'm still sitting here with my.
I did. I gave you the God man, word made flesh. We went over this book 1,000 freaking times, bro.
Out of the Bible.
These
That's
are
what I'm saying. Like, you keep referencing these books, but I need to find it in the Bible.
They are
I don't need to find it in someone
Okay.
else's book that's interpreted.
You're right,
They
bro.
read something in the book and then they interpret it and put it in their own book. I need to find it straight from the source, and the source is the Bible.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself real quick. Let me knock these dishes out.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
He said when we go into the scripture, we're going to see the word. We're going to see it in English, but then there's going to be the Hebrew word. It's going to be WD. That's all I'm looking for. I got the Hebrew open, and then I'm gonna go to the verse in the English, and then I'm gonna sit them next to each other until I find that WD. That's all I was doing. I'm not trying to, like, it's not that deep. Just get me to the scripture where it says WD. It should say, I forgot which word he said. Did he say it was the flesh? The flesh, it should be seed.
You say he talking about Matthew 2:25. Somebody say he talking about Matthew 2:25.
9. And what we saying, listen, even if you do find some stuff like this, the point is people are deceiving you. You mean to tell me all of our ancestors knew this? Oh,